Overseas, the chameleon strikes in the dark, so is Blair cracking up. But what decrees there still cellular activity in these birds? Close proximity with a biological form to be absorbed among these beings is the crawling chaos. The most human-like of all the entities, the offspring of Azathoth, is said to differ from the other gods in the mythos in a number of ways. While most of the outer gods are banished to the stars, and most of the great old ones are dozing off and dreaming like Thulu Nyarlathotep, he is nonetheless active and frequently strolls the earth in human form. He also takes on 1,000 other forms, many of which are said to be quite horrifying. Crazy blasting, but let's go back a little overseas. H.P. Lovecraft was born in Providence on August 20th, 1890. His mother, Sarah Susan Lovecraft, was a gifted painter, but his father, Winfield Scott Lovecraft, was a traveling salesman who was rarely home. It was in Fort Lauderdale that his son spoke for the first time, and that he had already been buried when he shared with his teacher his thoughts about the meaningless and unimportant social norms of humanity. Lovecraft was 12 years old at the time, and he didn't care about the outside world of life. He tried, with varying degrees of success, to show interest in the activities of boys his age. But he was much more interested in books. His grandfather had introduced him to the writings of Anne Radcliffe, Horace Walpole, and several other English Gothic authors. Lovecraft enjoyed reading horror novels because they were his world and his domain within the realms of the unfathomable. Fear where death and destruction entwined with life and terror predominated desolate cities. And the abysmal depths of the sea are the ultimate dark locations. Even though frozen in time, H.P. Lovecraft's life itself turned out to be the utmost horror. The subjects in Lovecraft's work, which included cult occurrences like astral possession and alien miscegenation, helped shape his philosophy of cosmicism over time. Lovecraft was a staunch materialist who produced supernatural horror stories. According to cosmological theory, there is no discernible divine presence in the cosmos, such as a god, and people are incredibly small in the grand scheme of intergalactic life. The origin of this philosophy can be found in his horror stories, which were sparked by his dreams and nightmares. These stories discuss the existence of extraterrestrial beings, also known as dark gods, who are so vast and greater than humans that they appear to us as mere ants in the stories. These beings are neither good nor evil, rather, they are like humans who, when building a road, come across an ant colony in the middle of the construction site. In such cases, humans will choose to destroy the ant colony in order to ensure the construction project is completed. This is how these entities view humans, who are just like ants, and they will tread on us if we get in the way. Many traits of nihilism and cosmicism are similar, but there is one key distinction. Whereas nihilism summarily rejects the possibility of a higher purpose, cosmicism emphasizes the insignificance of humanity and its actions. In Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos stories, the protagonist's discovery that they have no power to alter the vast, uncaring universe that surrounds them causes them to become terrified. Any meaning or purpose that may be attached to the actions of the cosmic beings is entirely inaccessible to the human characters. And when these characters try to understand or unearth the meaning or purpose of these cosmic beings or the universe as a whole, they ultimately go insane. Lovecraft's cosmicism is a form of his mechanical materialism, rather than anything religious. The incomprehensible cosmic forces of Lovecraft's tales have as little regard for humanity as humans have for insects, despite the author's personal belief in a meaningless, mechanical, and heartless universe that human beings, with their naturally limited faculties, could never fully comprehend. Lovecraft's viewpoint did not allow for religious beliefs that could not be supported by science. Lovecraft employed a variety of gods, especially those connected to the Thulu, to illustrate cosmology in his works. However, Lovecraft never thought of them as supernatural. but rather as extraterrestrials who comprehend and abide by a system of natural laws that appear magical to humans. These beings are thought to exist in cosmic realms. Though some of these beings have, and in some cases from cults to honor them, this symbol transcends human comprehension and represents the kind of universe that Lovecraft believed in. For the vast majority of these beings, the human race is so small that they receive no consideration at all. Nyarlathotep. One of these entities is the crawling chaos, who is referred to as the offspring of Azathoth and is said to be the most human-like of all the others. Lovecraft first described Nyarlathotep in a short story of the same name. The story was prompted by a dream in which he saw a shape-shifting monster that repeatedly visited Earth in the guise of notable figures from history. The idea that malevolent powers lurking in wait to project themselves into men's sleeping minds is a recurring theme in Howard Phillips' Lovecraft stories. Lovecraft basically published his dreams as horror short stories in some cult circles. It is believed that dreams are a portal to another world, and that spiritual entities can appear in dreams as a way to communicate with us. These entities can take many forms, such as angels, demons, or other supernatural beings. It is possible that Lovecraft channeled the essence of these cosmic beings through his dreams and visions of these beings. The majority of Lovecraft's stories are based on his dreams. There is a legend that at times he believed that his nightmares were the result of his transgressions in far-off incarnations, even if it's possible that he was pursuing magical abilities instead. These dreams were flashbacks to the past, and the nightmares were prophecies of what lay ahead, the soul's retribution for past transgressions. There may have existed an alternate dimension in Lovecraft's world millions of years ago that resembled the astral plane known to occultists as the Dreamlands. The Dreamlands act as entry points to mysteries and unfathomable energies that lie. Dreams can provide access to this huge and eerie dimension that lies beyond human comprehension. The dream cycle is a collection of stories by H.P. Lovecraft takes place in a vast alternate dimension or universe that people can enter through dreams. This realm is described in his stories as being accessible through dreams and transcendental states, also known as altered states of consciousness. It includes lands, seas, creatures, civilizations, and a vast underworld. The astral realm is thought to be accessible through dreams and astral projection, which can be achieved by meditating and entering an altered state of consciousness. As such, there are clear parallels between these stories and actual occult ideas about the astral realm. English ceremonial magician and Thalamic religion supporter Kenneth Grant learned magic under renowned occultist Aleister Crowley, the ceremonial magician who established Thelma in 1904. Grant was Crowley's personal secretary in addition. Kenneth Grant introduced extraterrestrial ideas and inspirations from H.P. Lovecraft's writings to many of Crowley's Thalamic teachings by founding the New Isis Lodge, an esoteric order. Subsequent occult works bear a strong Lovecraftian influence, frequently attributing Lovecraft's experiences to the unconscious reception of real occult emanations or presences. Grants think that the writer used these rays of energy to create their fictional works. At the heart of this work is a notion that Lovecraft would have rejected, despite the fact that many of his stories deal with this procedure specifically. Grant talked about some of his own magical notions, including a formula for exploring a thick black world he dubbed Universe B in the tunnels of Set, which he thought represented the shadowy side of the Kabbalistic tree of life. Authors and magicians like Kenneth Grant have created a map of dark pathways connecting Qliphothic realms with one another. But those who wish to embark upon this path must be completely insane. Grant established connections between this realm and the dark gods of H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos. The name Tunnels of Set is attributed to 22 paths connecting the realms on the Tree of the Cliff. both corresponding to pathways on the Tree of Life that connect the specific Sephiroth. Several characters in H.P. Lovecraft's works pursue forbidden knowledge, which frequently results in a descent into madness upon its revelation and the character's death. In Lovecraft's works, obtaining certain knowledge can result in either the complete or partial destruction of oneself. The author of the Necronomicon, Abdul al-Hazred the Mad Arab, is a character veiled in mystery and darkness who did, in fact, experience the madness he imposed upon himself. When it comes to his death or disappearance, his fate is just as mysterious as his existence itself. Many stories and accounts abound, each more horrifying and contradictory than the last. It is said that in the midst of daylight's piercing gaze, Abdul al-Hazred's metaphase is so terrible that it defies comprehension. He was seized by an invisible entity, an ethereal monstrosity of unimaginable proportions, and he was snatched away from the realm of the living. The witnesses, paralyzed by both fascination and terror, found themselves captivated by this horrific experience. As if driven by an uncontrollable hunger, the unseen creature then proceeded to subject Abdul al-Hazred to a horrible fate, a fate so horrible that it haunts the memories of those who were unfortunate enough to bear witness. There is another account that is shrouded in even greater terror within the echoing halls of the citadel, where unspeakable knowledge dripped like poison from its very foundations. It is said that the Mad Arab was kidnapped in Damascus and taken to the Nameless City, where he had previously studied and learned some of the Necronomicon's secrets. However, it is also said that his insolence and treachery could not go unpunished, because he had betrayed their secrets. Al-Hazred was left at the mercy of his captors. In the complex tapestry of H.P. and Lovecraft's life and works, Al-Hazred was cruelly tortured and then put to death. A shroud of mysterious links with the occult persists, as though called out from forbidden depths. The stories of Lovecraft embody the echoes of arcane knowledge and the eldritch powers that reside there. Lovecraft's tales, which remain shrouded in a perpetual state of mystery and wonder, continue to resonate with those who dare to peer into the abyss, drawing inspiration from the realms of the astral and the whispers of hidden dimensions. His vivid imagination and unsettling prose allowed him to weave together threads of ancient mysticism in a way that is beyond mortal comprehension.